The next thing that we want to do on our dashboard is to add the ability to filter data on the basis of brands and even on the basis of product. And that is very simple. All we have to do is that we have to add new slicers for brand and product. How do we do that? Let us take a look. But before we jump to that slicers for brand and product, let me just make this timeline smaller to be able to save some space. So I'm changing it to make it quarters, and in that case we have more space available here on our dashboard. And we will be adding new slicers here that will basically filter data on the basis of brand and product. And now let us select any of the charts here, and I'll press Alt key to get my panel and press Analyze, and then I'll press Insert Slicers. And on the basis of brand and product name, we have to add the new slicers. So we can add any of the parameters that you want, but I will just stick with these two, and I'll click OK. And you can see that we have new slicers here. So first let us focus on brand. Let us make it a little smaller in size and make it this way. And you can see that we have quite a long list that will not fit in here. So all I have to do is that I have to select the slicers and then press Alt key, and in the options I can increase the columns to make it to be able to fit it in the top panel there. So if I just increase the size of that in the horizontal way, you can see that if it is rightly fitting in or not. So we have 7, so I think 4 columns will better suit. So if I go back there and I can add one more column there, it will be making much more sense. So I can make it smaller in this dimension, and I can just pull it here to make it right. So I think this slicers is perfect here. And now all I have to do is that I have to select any of the brand, and if I change the brand, you can see that my country column is actually moving. And basically we have to link the other two columns, other two charts with the slicer. So I will right click and I will say report connections, and then I will select other two as well and click OK. Now if I select any of the brand, all my charts will be adjusting themselves accordingly. So for now I don't want data to be filtered on any of the brands, so I will just click on this cross here, and then you can see I'm back with all my data. And now the next thing that I want to do is that I want to do the same with my product name. I want to fit in here. So I will just first of all select it and say I want more columns, and here we have more columns. If I can, there are so many of the products, so I think I need to have more columns to be able to fit in anywhere. So if I can just perhaps this slicer is not any good idea at all, because there are just so many of them. So I think I will rather go back with one column, and then if I can just press the Alt key and go back to one column, and then I will live with this drop down with this list here. So I will just make it small like that, and I will go back and fix it here. So just in case my my management team wants to filter the data based on any product, my dashboard should be ready for that. But since there are so many of the products, I will just keep it this way, and then they can filter it down like that, right? So a second thing that we need to do is that we need to update the connections. So I will select all my data and I will click OK, and you can see if I select any of the product here, for example this one, all my data has been updated accordingly, right? So that should be it, right? So that is it with the slicers and timelines. And now what we need to do is that we need to add few more charts on our dashboard which are even more powerful, and we can extract more data out of them. Let's do that in the next lectures.